What's up, guys? It's Morgan from Lynchpin. Today, I'm going to talk about support and resistance levels and give you my take on how I go about setting those and walk you through my process in how I trade using them. So let's get into it. So to start, I have Gamestop's chart here. And I picked this because obviously it's an outlier. It's had massive moves. But I want to show you that even whether it's a boring stock or a very volatile stock like this, it's very easy to set these lines. So I always start with more recent price activity and use that as a basis. Sorry, you can't see the RSI. It's hiding behind my face. But if you look at the most recent kind of outlier low, you'll notice there's one right there. I personally use the price level tool because that's my favorite, just because it also lists what the price is. So I have a pretty good idea visually of what I'm looking for. And you'll notice that when it hit this level, it's dropped to this multiple times or tried to cross up over it. What you need to understand about candles is the thick body portion. So on a green candle, the bottom of the green thick portion is basically where the price opened on that candle. So for instance, this is a daily chart. So that's in a full day. Here's where it started. And then the top of the thick green portion is where it closed. Now these thin wicks, that's where it actually got to as a high throughout the entire day, but it ended up pulling back to this point for the close. Now a red candle is the opposite. So it means it opened here and closed here, but it fluctuated between here and here throughout the day. In a case like this, you'll notice that it popped up above the next day, but then it closed down below that. So that's why that candle is kind of crossed through the support and resistance line. A lot of times with the price level tool, I'll kind of go through and start looking for, okay, in my opinion, this is actually another key level. The reason why is somewhere in this, you've got a close here. Right here, you had a high that hit, and then it finally jumped over on this next candle. So for me, I don't like to overdo it with charts. You can base it off the wick if you would like, if you think it's got a good chance. Keep in mind that every $0.50 or full dollar tends to be a stronger support or resistance for stocks, and that will vary by stock. But again, that's something to keep in mind. So here, I would also put a level here. If I was looking at this from a daily, notice how many times it's hit in this area. So if I just click, for me, these are the major support and resistance lines for GameStop. One of the other things that I personally factor in is the RSI. I pay attention to that and kind of focus on, is it overbought? Is it oversold? Again, I use my RSI on a 10 period, not a 14 period, which is the standard and what most traders I know use. The reason is I feel it more closely follows the chart, in my opinion, and it's just something that I've kind of adapted to use. Now I'm going to show you a Snapchat's chart. Now this is on the 5 minute. So just keep that in mind, that's why the candles are so small and there's so many of them. Now keep in mind, the more candles that you get, the better. It gives you a better sampling of, just like taking a survey. The more people that you survey, the more accurate the results can be as a whole. If I take in a couple of days, now you'll notice, look at the RSI down here. Look at the RSI down here. Notice how those are key support levels for being oversold. That changes up here, but just want to give you that example. Check out kind of this area. And again, these aren't perfect. These are just me ballparking these. Notice when it's falling here, it didn't make it all the way down, but it got pretty close. It ran into resistance here. It ran into resistance here. Normally after hours trading, which is these light gray areas, are a little negligible. Oftentimes the volume's super low, they can be super volatile and not standard. That's up to you whether or not you want to use it. Now, here's another level. Because it's broken to all-time highs here, I would go ahead and put a level up there. But one thing I might keep in mind for an intraday is something like this 82 range where it almost hit there. So notice how it fell, but that was an after hours trade. So kind of out of line. Now, if I go ahead and remove my drawing set, when I'm doing intraday trading, I will set a mark, for instance, on an open. Snap does this all the time. There's often a huge spike at the beginning of the day or a huge drop off at the beginning of the day. So I would have set a level here. And then as it started to reverse off this bottom, I personally would have set a level here. And then depending on price action, volume, and the RSI, then I would be making plays in here. So for me personally, if I was to play both sides of this trade, whenever it gets up here, I would look to see if it gets rejected, which is what it eventually did. Hence, it just traded sideways. So this would have been a perfect spot to go in short with put options. If it had come down here and dropped to this level and suddenly the volume had ticked up, sorry, I removed the volume just to give you an idea in terms of the RSI being kind of the most important. But if the volume picks up here and it drives it, then this is a great area to buy. So for me personally, this is how I do support and resistance levels. And like I said, going forward, I would really be in this range for Snap for tomorrow, which will be Monday. A lot of times when it makes new all-time highs, it will pull back for like a day or two, but I don't know. Snap's really strong to the upside oftentimes. So whenever I'm in doubt, I usually lean long on Snap. That's how I go about support and resistance levels. If you have any questions, please comment down below. I'll be happy to do more videos on this and give you more examples. But I wanted to outline that not only if a stock's trending sideways, in this case, Snap was kind of consolidating here and really stayed in a tight range. And you could be putting in way more support and resistance than that. But me, I want it really oversold or really overbought when I'm buying those options, because that gives me the most volatility and the most upside on profit. If you get a chance, check that out. Practice on some charts. Sunday's a perfect day to do it. Hope to see you around. Bye.